Welcome everyone. This is Vishak here, and in this video, I wanted to talk to you about the basics of the personality. So, first of all, I want to just give you a little background about myself so that you are in a better position to actually understand what is possible, what is capable, what you are capable. Okay, so I am the founder of Power Dynamics, and I help working men achieve the alpha personality. So, why do you want the personality? Why is it important? And what role the personality is going to play in your life? Uh, how your personality can influence your relationships, the career, the money that you earn, the society, the social relationships, your health, and all that. I mean, it's got like really massive impact. Okay, so I was just a regular student. I was just fresh out of my MBA in and I just fresh out of my MBA, and then I had a corporate banking career for over 10 years. So yes, flashy as it may sound, it was not really flashy inside, because the thing is, I never saw, like, in my entire life, right? Until I quit my job and started off with something on my own, I never saw like even 1 lakh of rupees in my bank account. Like, never. Okay. Yes, I had an MBA, and yes, I had a multinational banking career, but it didn't reflect on my bank account. And my health was struggling. Like, I was really suffering from obesity. Back in the days when I was, fresh out of my MBA, I was skinny. I was really skinny, and I was looking weak, like really weak. And after getting into the banking career, too much of sitting, too much of sedentary, and I was obese. Within a matter of 3 or 4 years, my doctor told me that I was obese. So I was fat, and I was skinny. I mean, I'm sorry, I was single. And all these things, like, it came up to a point where I'm in at the age of 24, 25, I'm struggling with all of these areas. Is because of the belief system that I had, the belief system that was installed in me. Okay, so something happened after that. Something happened after. It was an eventual process, but something happened after that. The thing is, I took my life in my own hands. Like, I don't want to listen to people. I don't want to listen to what everybody says and please everybody else, and um, end up like me suffering. Like, that is not going to be the case. I don't want that to be the case, because all I was doing is listening, obeying, abiding, what everybody else is saying. Everybody else meaning, the family, friends, society, relatives, managers, and whatnot. So it came up to a point where I was not able to, like, take it anymore. And then I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm done. Like, I respect my life, I value my life, so I have to do something with it. And that is where I took a stand, and I was like, let me paint the picture of my own life. And that's it. And ever since that decision, I think I'm pretty well off, and I am doing good, and I am healthy, and I've got a great partner. So this shift that happened is simply because just one decision that I've taken, and, like, nothing nothing beyond. Okay, so what in this journey, what are the things that I have learned, and what are the mistakes that I have did, right? So I want you to take the learnings of this and apply it in your own life if you find yourself struggling or suffering in any of these areas that we spoke about. Okay, so I, literally speaking, I have put like so much of effort and so much of energy into this particular course, and we are going to be talking about that one in a minute. Okay, yeah. So please note down this quote, and I don't want you to note down in your mobile phone or whatever because it just gets lost. I want you to write this down and paste it in your computer, like paste it in front of your computer, paste it in front of your fridge. I don't know, wherever you spend most of your time, I want you to paste on all those places. No one ever wrote a plan uh, to be fat broke, stupid, lazy, unhappy, mediocre. Those are the things that happen to you when you do not have a plan, right? So it's a pretty profound statement. Like if you just take a look at how our value system, our belief systems are, right from our elders. See, the thing is, I mean, don't take it personally. I'm not playing the blame game over here, but I'm just giving you the reality. Okay, so our society or our belief system, like everything else, right? I mean, pretty much everybody are preaching like one day everything is going to be okay, everything is going to be all right. One day things are going to be so much better, and you just got to do what you got to do. And well, that's not the case. That's not the truth. That is not the truth. Believing that, and like hoping for things to happen, I have lost almost a decade, right? And it is so saddening to see that a lot of people are not just losing years and decades, but they're losing their own entire life. And one time they come to a point where, oh shit, like I should have done something about it, you know so I want to tell you one thing, right? This life, your life, is 100% your responsibility, and there is like nobody coming to save you, especially since we're all men. Like nobody's coming to save, and it's 100% our responsibility. So you better have a plan and execute. The best part is you will be able to get what you want just by redefining and changing your personality. Okay, is it hard? Yes. Is it doable? 100%. Okay, so I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a very simple question. Do you have an organized life? I don't want you to just answer this, okay? I want you to pause this video now, and I want you to take your time. Just take your time. And I want you to think from different angles, from all angles that you can possibly think of, right? From your office angle, from your career perspective, from your relationship perspective, from your health perspective, from your like a lot of perspective, right? I mean, just put it in a one word. Do you live an organized life, right? So not it's not just about sitting and wishing for what you want, right? Everybody are doing that. Everybody are actually doing it. But how about taking things from a different angle, taking a look at things from a different angle, right? So you don't have to, I mean, you don't have to say it out, but whatever it is, you have to put it in a piece of paper and make sure that you put it in a piece of paper, and you will really get the result after we finish this video. Okay, cool. So this is a trend that I see in most men today. The trend is pretty much uh it's like 20 to 30, they go to a job, they find some sort of profession because of the pressure from the family or whatever. You finish your education, you go get into a job, and then you go there, you sit down, and you start working, and that's it. Yeah, like you just get lost in a limbo, and for a very very long time, you develop certain habits, you develop certain behaviors, and that is essentially giving you a lot of hindrances when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your money, I mean wealth, when it comes to your health, all of this. Okay, and this is a trend, and this trend is actually starting to catch up because we have got into the digital revolution. Digital revolution started in the 1980s. Okay, so before this, people were actually going to factories, people were actually going to this agriculture or hard labor. That's what I'm saying. So the digital age actually started in the age of 70s, late 70s and 80s, and in India it has come up in the 80s. So the trend that I see in most men today. Now, why men? Well, you pretty much know the answer to that. All right. So the the trend that I see And it's not applicable only it's applicable only for 30s, is because from 20 to 30 you're essentially building up these things. You're setting your life, you're setting your body, you're setting your habit, you're setting for your behavior, everything. You're setting all these things for a big failure. Okay. And from 30 you will start experiencing it, because I personally believe that 30 to 40 is the most important decade for any man. Why? Because that is when you take the most important decisions of your life, like your career, your marriage, your kids. You're planning to have kids. All of this happens from 30 to 40. Okay. So most men do not have a career, they have a job. Now I'm very very particular about this one, because you can have a job, but if you not really like what you are doing, then you pretty much have a job, and that's it. You do not have a career, right? You do not have the freedom to switch your career. When I was working in a bank, I didn't like what I was doing, because I was into operations, and that is not my area of expertise, or that's not my area of interest. So I wanted to change my career so much. I wanted to change the stream line, but I was not able to, because nobody was giving me an opportunity for me to do that. And like, I was just, all I was doing is just listening to them, and first of all, they have no idea what they are doing. If like, I mean, I'm talking about the mid-level management in any of the corporates, right? They don't know what they are doing. Okay. All they think they know what they're doing, but honestly speaking, they don't. All right. So, and I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you in a minute. Okay. So I wanted to change my career, but nobody gave me an opportunity. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it myself. So I don't want anybody to give me an opportunity. All right. So if you are not in control of your career, then you just have a job. All right. And most men, like, they just go to a job because they have to pay their bills. All right. They go to a job, they go to job. You wake up in the morning and you go to job, you go to your work because you have to pay your bills, and that is it, right? It's like, it's not like you get to work, right? You have to work. Like, it is more of like a mandatory, like an obligation. Like, you have to go to work, right? So obviously that itself is not a right approach. So just think about this: where are you getting the confidence from, if that is the case, right? So that's the second one. So if you are in that particular mode, like, you have to go to a job because you have to pay the bills, if that is the case, most times you are just working in a flight or fight response. Okay. The fight or flight is nothing but you are in the survival mode. You're just in the survival mode, you're not in the creation mode. Okay. I will tell you about what that is in a bit. Now, the third one is, most men in their 30s and 40s are either fat or out of shape, right? I'm talking about most men. So you don't want to take your body or health for granted, and trust me, my friend, you do that. You have pretty much, if you have pretty much done it in your 20s, that's okay. But right now, if you do not pull up your socks, uh, you're going to be a burden for your family. You don't want it. Okay. You don't want it. I have seen so many people who are in their 30s are looking like uncles and aunties. Okay. I mean, you don't have the energy, you don't have the stamina. The food is not, your body is not accepting the food, certain types of food. You're having the, I don't know, bad breath, no sleep, and this goes on. All right. So you don't want that. You have to be taking care of your health. Just imagine this one. If you are like, if you find yourself in a in a party, all right, and there are two people who are just walking. One is extremely fit and another one is extremely fat. Like, who will have the better confidence? Or let's say one is super fit and another one is like extremely thin and weak. So just imagine who's going to be more confident. All right. So you want to be taking good care of your body and your health. Okay. And the next one is, most men lack in confidence. Now, I'm telling that in particularly because you must have experienced this yourself. Like, if you can go to an interview, or if you are at work, and what exactly is confidence? So confidence is nothing but the belief that you have in yourself, right? And if you do not believe in yourself, how can you expect people to believe in you? right? There was a survey that was taken in UK that 51% of people do not have the confidence at work. I'm talking about at work, right? So how can people think about you when they want to give you a promotion or anything of that sort? How can that happen? Like, that cannot possibly happen, right? The next one is most men have no idea what they're doing, or they don't have any idea what they want to do. All right. This is very, very important. So back then when I was working, I had no choice because I had to pay the bills. I had to pay a loan. And only because of that, I was sticking with the job. So I was literally going to a job just because I have to pay the bills. If there were no bills, I would never step into the building, like not even one day. Okay. So that is something that you will need to really think hard and think deep, because see, the thing is, if you're not really liking what you're doing on an everyday basis, this is not healthy. And I literally mean that, like, literally it is not healthy, because if you're not really feeling good about Monday, right, or Sunday evening, if you think like, oh man, tomorrow I have to go to work, if you're making that faces, or if you're getting a bad feeling about it, that means your soul is trying to tell you something. Your soul is trying to tell you go right, and you are going left because you have to pay the bills, right? So that's a pretty big thing. So if you're stuck in a limbo, like if you have no idea what you're doing, right, if your job is not fulfilling, if it is causing you extreme amount of stress, and if it's not, you're doing so much, and if you're still finding no time for yourself or your family or for your health, then whatever you're doing is wrong, right? And I have got certain steps how as to how you can optimize it, and you can live a better life. All right, I'll be giving you that one. Cool. And some men, unfortunately, in their 30s, are single, and due to which they do not have a deep emotional connect with people. So when I say people, it's with women, right? So if you do not have that emotional connect with women, what happens is, you kind of you tend to, like, kind of get lost, like somewhere in your mind, that a sense of belonging is not there, right? I'm doing so many things, but at the end of the day, what am I doing it for? Whom am I doing it for? Like, there is a deep sense of lack of fulfillment. And like, there is no way for your mind, as in like your brain, to pump that serotonin and oxytocin, which is nothing but the love hormones, right? Serotonin and oxytocin. And you feel that if that is going on for a very, very long time, you don't feel that confident, especially when you go to your, I don't know, like a public event or anything like that, and everybody are coming with their wives and husbands and whatnot. And if you go single, that's not, I don't know, like, if you consciously choose that, okay, I want to be single for the rest of my life, and I'm good with myself, I'm happy about it, then that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Then that's a next level. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about, you need a partner, you want a partner, but you don't have it. It's hard for you to find it, right? So my only question is, what are you doing to get it? Okay, what are you doing to get it? So just the way you have expectations from women, just the way you have expectations from life, women or life or work also will have expectations from you. And that's the whole point of this personality development that I have created. All right. And most men are not really in sync with their reality, right? New Year, we just passed the New Year. So I can confidently say there are so many people so excited about the New Year, but it's they're not really excited about the New Year. It's just like, I live my life like every day it's a New Year. Every day it's a party. It's like it's my birthday. Okay. And most people are not able to do that, and they're not in sync with their reality. They don't really like the reality. And that's why they always look for an escape, social media. They need a holiday. They look for a Friday or a Saturday for a party. There some are into drugs. Most men are into porn. There was one time that I still remember. I was just gonna catch up with a couple of my friends, and the Indian government said they were going to ban the porn. So everybody were like, somebody announced the news, and everybody were like, what is this Indian government doing like this? They are blocking the porn. I mean, they are banning the porn in India and all that. It was like a huge deal for them. And I'm sitting and I'm like, I don't even know how to react to that. Like, why? Like, why would you do that? Right? It is a life force that you are wasting by watching porn. And the after effects of it. Okay. And TV, movies like series, etc., etc. I'm not saying that don't do it. Like, you can do it, but that don't get into a position where these things are consuming you. Okay. So you are, for all of these things, you are literally giving the most finite source of your life, and that, my friend, is nothing but your time. And don't get to a point where, like, you just beat on your head and just say, oh my god, like, I've lost a lot of time. Okay. Because guilt and regret is a very, very bad emotion, and you don't want that. Okay. And the last one is, most men do not have any idea, like, they got no clue what is it they're going to do after the retirement. And most in corporate culture, like, there is no provident pension, right? There's no PF. Like, I don't know if it's a PF or a pension. Yeah, there's no pension. So uh, the the level, or the, the pace at which technological advancement that's going on right now, this is huge. All right. And, like, you're irrelevant if you are not constantly upgrading yourself. You're soon going to be irrelevant in the industry. So one thing is, like, what are you doing to stay relevant in the marketplace today? And the second thing is, what are you going to do so that you are at peace, like, after you retire, or after 50, after 60, I've got everything sorted out, and now everything is okay. um and I'm just looking forward for it. There are very, 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 very less people, less men, who fall into that category. Okay. So most men don't know what they're going to do tomorrow. They don't even know what they're doing today. All right. So forget about the retirement. So this is something that I see as like a constant trend, that upward, going that's traveling upward. Okay. So this particular course that you're going to go through is a result of 8,000 hours of research and development. Okay, there's so much of research that I have done, and there's one thing that is, like, heavily lacking in uh, men, is masculinity. That includes your courage, that includes your behavior, that includes your decision making, that includes your leadership, and whatnot. And I'll tell you for sure, 99% of you who are watching will not finish to the end. Okay, 99%. Like, oh my god, this is a long video. So I know, like, I'm more interested in Instagram and, the colorful images right there. Right. But the only thing is, like, this is something that will change your life. Okay. Social media, or just going and, scrolling through the Instagram, will not make the needle move, like, 1 point. It won't. Okay. So do you want to know why the 99% of people will not finish it to the end? If you want to take a guess, you can take a guess. Yeah, I hope you have taken a guess. Now I'll tell you why. The answer to that question is this question. Okay. Why do you think 99% of the people in the world are average? Because they don't want to do the hard things, because they don't want to do the boring things. And that's why they are average. So if your life is average, if you are an average person, you'll be like, you know what, screw this. Let me just go back and do whatever I want. I mean, I want to watch some social media, I want to watch some movies. I don't want to, like, I think I'm good with my life and everything is good. Okay. I don't have much ambitions, and I let me just stay in the comfort space. Okay. So if you are that 1%, then you'll be like, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to take a lot of notes. Let me see what this person has to say. Okay. Yeah. So this is pretty much the statistics. Okay. There is, like, in 100% of the population, there is 100% people start on things, and 99% give up. So anybody can start, and anybody can give up. Like, those are easy things. Starting and giving up is like easy things. But I'll tell you what, 1% finish what they have started. Only 1%. Like, genuinely, only 1% finish what they have started. Okay. So this is my hard and fast rule. Your life is a reflection of your standard. So whatever the standard that you have set, and that is the standard that's actually reflecting. So everybody has big dreams, ambitions, goals. Like, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to be the best version of myself, I want to, I want a better health, I want the best relationship, I want a lot of money, this and that and all that. But I'll tell you, you're not able to achieve that. Why? Have you ever thought, like, why you're not able to achieve it? Right. So I'll tell you what, the saddening thing is that most men are actually comfortable where they are. So you are not really doing anything about your ambition, you're not really doing anything about your dreams. It's simply because you are comfortable where you are right now. And I'll tell you what, like, that's a very dangerous space to be in. And I'm not threatening you, or I'm not scaring you or anything, but it's the truth. And I was actually stuck there for a very, very long time. Like, for a very, very long time, I was so comfortable with wherever I was. I don't want, like, I want a lot of, like, I want a lot of money, and I want a lot of, like, I want promotion. Like, pretty much every 6 months I need promotion, and I need, like, you see what I'm saying, right? But that is never going to happen, and that's never going to happen unless you are putting in the work. So your reflection, I mean, your life is a reflection of your standard. Okay. Everyone, like, every man, right, every man on this planet earth likes a lot of money. He wants a beautiful girlfriend, or he wants a beautiful wife. He wants a sexy body with abs. He wants a glowing skin, right? He wants to be attractive, and he wants a confident personality. He wants a great dressing sense. Like, he wants to have a great dressing sense. He wants to have an excellent communication skills, and he wants to be, like, having a good appearance, and he wants to have the magnetic energy. But the thing is, people can, what you really need to understand is, anybody can change the style. Okay. But what is really hard to come by is the substance. A lot of people have, I mean, not, a lot of people, they don't have style, and they don't have substance. A lot of people, I'm talking about majority. If you want me to give you a number, I'll give you a number. 80% of people don't have style or substance. Okay. They don't have anything. That means they're not even in the ring to play the game. Then comes the remaining 20%. In the 20%, I would say 16% they have style, but there's no substance. And 4% they have substance. Like, they've got solid substance. Like, 3% have got substance, and 1% have got style and substance. Both. Very, very rare to find. All right. If you study them, if you study those kind of people, they pretty much have things sorted. Like, they are mentally super tough, they're super, super confident, and they know what exactly they're doing. All right. So remember this one every time. Like, your life is a reflection of your standard. So now you can answer this question. Do you think you have an organized life? Right. The answer will be obvious, but you know exactly what you need to do after this. All right. Cool. Now, do you want to know a secret? A secret for this, a secret to change the game. All right. Now, this is where we are getting a little serious, right? You want to know the secret to change the game. Your personality determines the quality of your life. So imagine this. Until today, like, whatever your age is, until today, right now, you must have some problems. You must have some problems, good, bad, whatever, doesn't matter, but you've got some problems, right? And those problems are caused by your belief systems and your personality. Okay. If you have health problems, then it's caused by your personality. If you have relationship problems, it's caused by your personality. If you have money problem, that's caused by your personality. Okay. Personality is nothing but the learned behavior, as you have seen in the previous video, or probably the next video. I'll be talking about layers of personality. So personality is nothing but the characteristic traits. All right. The behavior that is happening over and over and over again. So this is like a next level to your habits, and that is how your personality is designed. So you are a personality of XYZ. So if I have to talk about me, like I take care of my health. That is like the number one priority. So if I'm healthy, I can work better so that I can make more money and keep my family better, right? So that is how you should be looking at. That's the way that I look at it. So health comes the top, and because of health, I can work better. I have the more I have more mental energy and focus and persistence to work better. And if I work more and if I earn more money, I can keep my family better. So health, work, and family as in relationship. Okay, so your personality is like the mid of it, and anywhere you mess up, like the happiness will not, the happiness will suffer. Okay, think about it. Just think, take a good um look at it. If your health is not good, then you do not have happiness. Okay, if your work is suffering, then you will not have money. If you do not have enough money, then of course you do not have happiness, right? Or let's say that you are having your health and you have making a lot of money, but at the end of the day, if you're coming to an empty house, then obviously there is no point in doing any of it. Or if you come to a home where there's full of, like, it's like a war zone, right? You're like literally fighting, and there's no proper relationship between you and your kids or your wife or your girlfriend or whoever, then obviously there's no happiness. So you need all of this: a house full of love, a healthy and a happy body, and pretty good amount of money in the bank. So these things can be taken care of. So your personality determines the quality of your life. That means it's determining all of these three areas. Okay, if you don't believe me, take a look at this. Does your personality type determine your salary? Turns out that there is a real data backing up the idea that your personality does indeed impact how much money you make. According to career assessment site, a company that administers Myers-Briggs, this is a personality test. So Myers-Briggs, and I think it was Carl Jung. So these two people have developed the personality test, just for people, just for humans to understand their personality type and what is their characteristics, what is their behavior, and whatnot. Okay, and it turns out that this particular your personality has a greater impact on your salary, as in like the money you make. Okay, so self-motivated driven personalities are more likely to be paid more. All right, so you're introvert, you're extrovert, you're a jovial person, you are ambitious person, like all, like there are a lot of personality, there are 16 types of personalities, and that can actually determine your salary, as in like the money that you make. Okay, the next one is like, can it have an impact on your health? So uh, research indicates that personality health mechanism include health behaviors, social relationship, and trauma. These traits have these traits related experiences have a biological impact that ultimately affects health, including disrupting the stress response and the immune system. So your personality has an impact, a direct impact on your health. If you are a person who is neglecting health, then you have that type of personality which neglects health, and that's okay. In your 20s, nobody really cares about the health, but in your 30s, if you don't pull up your socks, you are going to struggle in your 40s, so which you don't want it. Just imagine this one: having a low sex drive is a health problem. Having a low sex drive is a health problem. Just imagine how embarrassing that is for any man, right? Or let's say that you are not able to walk faster the way that your kids or your wife or your girlfriend walks. Just imagine that, right? You should never have that. If you can't climb the stairs, or if you do not have the strength to carry certain things at home, these things are pretty embarrassing, right? So that's what I'm saying. So your personality has a direct impact on your health. And the next is, do personality types have an impact on relationships? Actually, yes, it does. Although successful couples often have similar attitudes when it comes to things like religion and politics, it has been found that most fulfilling relationships tend to exist when people have differing personalities. So anyway, just cut out on the second one, but the first one, yes, it does. Although couples have similar attitudes, right? So your personality affects your relationship, the happiness or the outcome of the relationship that you have. I'm talking about the personal relationship that you have at home. Your personality affects it. All right. So I'm a good person, I'm a bad person, that is all subjective, right? Everybody are good and everybody are bad. Like literally everybody are good and everybody are bad. Like, okay, now we can say Osama bin Laden, now he's a very bad person, right? Or Mr. Obama, he's a very good person, right? Narendra Modi, he's a very very good person. Sachin Tendulkar, he's a good person. He's But the thing is, they are good for someone, and at the same time they're also bad for somebody else. Like you yourself, like think about, like you are obviously a good person. You're probably the best person for your mom. But like, what if there is a person who, like, who hates you or whom you hate, right? Obviously you're not a good person to them, correct? So your personalities have a big impact on the relationships. And all of these things play a very very important role when it comes to your improvement of your life, when it comes to the confidence, overall confidence. And these things can make or break you. All right. And that's why when people say that, life is uh life is hard, well, it's not really hard if you just take it from these angles. If you just have a clarity on these three categories and just say, okay, you know what, I'm going to work on this one, and no matter what, I'll be able to get out of wherever I am. If that is the approach that you are having, then there's 100% chance that you will get out of it. Okay. So all of these problems that we have, like with your age, all problems that you have is something that you are made to believe. Like you are made to believe, you have a belief system, and you have that belief system that has been guiding you. So maybe it could have put you on the right path, or maybe it could have put you on the wrong path. But the thing is, the belief system is the only thing that, like, you are made to believe, and that is what come and put you in this particular position right now, like wherever you are and right now in your life. Like that is simply because of your belief system. Because of the belief system, those are nothing but the words and the stories that is going on in your mind, and that is, converted, you know what I mean, converted into actions. And that actions is nothing but the result that you got in your life today. Okay. So the today's problem is, these are today's problems. I mean, these as not today's, but since the last decade to, I can easily say, for the next 20, 30 years, or probably even after that, like even beyond that. Okay. So today's problem when it comes to career, you feel like you are stuck in a job, right? You feel like you're stuck in a job because you've got to pay the bills. Promotions and job options are like very, very limited. Like it's getting lesser and lesser. But at the same time, expectations and responsibilities, right? Expectations and responsibilities are growing more and more. Like it's pretty hard. It's not like expense are growing more. Yes, expense are growing more, but also there's something called as an inflation. So money is basically losing its value every day, and day in and day basis. Why? Because it is just removed from the gold standard, and government is just printing the money. And you feel like no matter how much you earn, it's just not enough. Like, that's the rate of expense. And expectations from you yourself, like expectations from yourself is pretty less, or probably like pretty average. But expectations from you, I mean, others expecting from you is like way more, right? Like you got to do this, you got to do that, like you can never satisfy your boss, right? That's it is what it is. But and that's the same thing when it's applicable to everything. No matter how much you do, it's always not enough. Like it's gone unrecognized. And responsibilities are like, as you grow, the responsibilities keep growing, like more and more. Okay. So you can see your friend, like your friend or friends, cousins and neighbors are just living their life. Like, okay, now you're gone into your 30s. Now you are in your 30s. Some of you are in your 40s. right? And you are literally seeing everybody else are like sprinting, where you cannot even, like, you can even barely walk, right? And those people are like, everybody are living their life, they are doing things, they are making things move, and life is going some way, but you feel like you're feeling stuck, and you feel like you're powerless, and you're like, I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know where to start, and how am I going to get a grip in my life? Like, I don't know how to do that, right? Now that's a very hard position to be in. And and being in this, in between all of this, you're just not able to think of anything else. Like, you can't even think of your, like, your own improvement, or like, you just don't have a time for yourself, right? And this is only with the career. And and the result is lack of confidence. So if let's say that if a person who's facing all of this, right, a person who's facing all of this faces a person who's having no problem with this, who do you think will have more confidence? Who do you think will have more power? Obviously the person who doesn't have any of these problems. Yes. I know what you're thinking. Are there any people who don't have these problems? Absolutely. Okay, there are there are. I'm not stuck on a job. I don't look for promotions. All right, I have expenses, but better manage my income, right? My expectations, I exceed everybody's expectations. I take I have my own responsibilities, and I take more responsibilities. All right. And yes, there was once upon a time, I saw all of my friends, my cousins, my neighbors, everybody were like, they were getting a car, they were building houses, they're getting married, and I'm like, oh my god, where is my life going? I don't have any of this, like nothing at all. But today I'm surpassing all of them. Okay. So, unable to think of anything else, well, I'm thinking of something for myself, like every damn day. I'm not just thinking, but I'm also doing it, and I've got all the time in the world. All right. So there are people, okay, there are people who don't have these problems, and the result is the lack of confidence. So if this is the mode that you're living pretty much every day, then obviously lack of confidence will be there. Okay. The next one is the health problems. Like, if you are in your 30s, which I believe that you are, then you are either fat or skinny. Skinny is like very lesser people, but like mostly fat or out of shape or obese, right? So you might want to go get your tests done, just a basic test, just to see what's your position in your health. And you must have realized the effects that when you hit your 30s, yes, immediately you will not know it, but after some time, maybe after 1 year or 2 years, you will start seeing that drop in your testosterone, or the sex drive, or the stamina, or the strength in case, right? I mean, you just don't have the mental focus. You cannot work as hard as you were working in your 20s. Like, you can't do that, because you see what I'm saying, right? There's so much of lifestyle changes that is being taken place. Your body is all set, and now in your 30s, your body is all catching up. It's responding you back, like, hey, like, I want to go to bed at 8 o'clock, like I don't have energy. Your body is trying to say that. Okay. And you might have felt it, like you can easily gain fat, like easy, or you can gain unhealthy weight. Both are pretty much same, but you get the point. But at the same time, you're finding it really hard to lose the weight. Like, you cannot just lose the weight. It's very hard. You go into a diet, you go into this, you hit all the exercise in the gym, and you take up all the million diets in the world, and nothing seems to be happening, right? There's no stamina, there's no strength, there is no flexibility. So what, like, what is this? It's a sign of weakness. It's certainly a sign of weakness. And these problems are not just staying. It's not just staying, and it's not just coming with you. It is growing with you. These problems are growing with you. And my question is, what are you doing about it? Right. And these things can directly affect your performance at work, like 100%. Okay. So one thing you need to understand is, like, the day that you hit your 40, from your 40, there is something called as osteoporosis, and that's nothing but the reduction in the bone density. and that will tremendously go down. Okay, as you age, this is something like a testosterone is nothing but the god hormone that's responsible for your growth, for your sex, for your thinking, for your motivation, for your energy, like god like energy, all of that. And after you hit your 30s, that will start declining. But these days men are losing it. By the time they hit their 20s also, they are declining it. I mean, testosterone is declining. Anyway, getting back to the performance at work. Now, if you're having if you do not have the proper energy, if you do not have the mind capacity to just go like real hard and get to the perfect, like the peak performance at your work, like you can't do it. And your work is like literally taking a hit, and that is literally taking a hit on your bank account. Are you able to see it? Right? Are you able to see it? Now, just think about it. Now, you will never look at your bank account or your career progress the way that you were doing. Like, you cannot always keep blaming yourself, saying that, why am I not able to achieve the goal? Why am I not able to do this? Why am I not able to? It is probably have to do with your biochemistry. Your health is not letting you work hard or be smarter or think sharper or decide better. It is not letting you do that, and because of that, your performance is taking a hit, and because of that, your bank account is taking a hit, and because of that, your mood is taking a hit. Are you able to think? Are you able to decide when it comes to like making some spontaneous critical decisions? Are you able to make it? No. Why? You're not able to see things clearly. Why do you feel that you feel tired in the afternoon? Why do you feel like you want to take a nap in the afternoon? Why? The biochemistry, right? You're eating way too much and you're not able to work. You're tired, and now let me just nap for a while if you're working from home. Okay. And the consequence, what is the consequence? Lack of confidence. Right? Imagine if there's a person who is fit, who is fine, who's sharp, who is spark, or he's got the spark, right? And there is a person who's like a little sleepy, who is a little tired and just out of the nap. Just imagine who will have more confidence. Who? Obviously, right? I mean, the answer is pretty obvious. So that is with regards to the health. And now coming to the relationships, right? um First thing is like soul sucking colleagues. Like, I'm not blaming over here, but then you will find like a lot of kinds of people, like different various kinds of people. And see, you will get connected with some people, you will get repelled from some people, like likes and dislikes, it is pretty much there in any social setting. But the thing is, there are some people who constantly find problems in every solution. They can, no matter what, like they cannot be positive. No matter what happens, they want to find a solution. Like, even if you're going to write the entire earth like under their name, like I'm going to write you I will rename the earth after your name, right? Even then they're not going to be happy. So we can't really help. Like, just think about it. Right now you're sitting and watching this video, just close your eyes and just think about all the people who are like literally, not literally, but soul sucking people. Like, they are always negative, they're not approachable, they do not smile, they do not laugh, and they've got issues, right? So soul sucking colleagues or people, and you have to deal with them because it is an obligation, right? You have to deal with them, and there's no other way. You've got to do that because you signed up for it, right? Or fight or flight mode in daily operation. That means, like, on an everyday basis, like I said, you are going to a job because you have to pay the bills. Like, if it is not for money, would you do that? If you would do that, then you are doing a great job. All you got to do is just excel in that. But if you're not really doing that, then I think that you are hating what you're doing. If you are really hating what you're doing, my question is, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Have you really thought about what exactly are you going to do in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years? If not, you're still going to be in the fight or flight mode. And if you're in the fight or flight mode, then you are not thinking beyond. Let me just give you an example. Let me just explain you what exactly is a fight and flight mode, right? Flight or fight, fight or flight. Okay. Now you are standing in the middle of the forest. Okay. And there is a tiger. And there's a tiger who's just coming and just standing there right in front of you. Now, you got two options. Either you can fight the tiger, which is obviously not the wise choice, or flight. What is flight? Take off, run, run for your life, right? So this is the response that is being kicked by your body. It's a mode that your body gets into. At that point, what do you have? You have fear, you have anxiety, and all your brain is thinking is, I want to survive, right? I want to survive. And there is like, no matter what, either I have to sit and fight or I have to run. And this is exactly what 97% of the people are doing in this world. 97% of the people. You have to fight or you have to run. Fighting is everyday fighting. You have to go to work. You have to, this is fighting, right? You have to. There's no other way. Flight is nothing but, okay, now I'm done with my work. Let me go and party. Let me go and party. Let me go and watch a movie. What is it? Flight, escape, escape from the reality. So if this is the case, you are not really thinking clearly. You're not really happy from within, right? You are living by the rules that someone else have created. So fight or flight is not going to put you into the best of your best emotions, and it is going to only help you with, lower emotion side, like, anxiety, fear, guilt, shame, regret, anger, frustration, all of that. Like, I'm talking about most of the time. That doesn't mean that you will never laugh. That doesn't mean that you will never be happy. I'm saying most of the time, if you are having that low levels of emotions in the human consciousness, then it's pretty hard for you to be, like, it's pretty hard. It's really hard for you to just get to the other side of it. And your relationship is suffering because of that, right? Or it's because of your personality. So your kids, or the relationship with your kids might suffer because you're not able to spend your time with your kids or your wife or your girlfriend. You do not have time because you're spending so much of time at work. By the time you come back, you're tired. So how can I possibly take care of my health, or how can I possibly spend time with my family? How can I do that, right? It's a very valid question, but think about that. Think about the entire golden triangle that I spoke about, right? Your health is not good, which is why you're not able to perform your work better, and not making enough, due to which you're not able to provide for your family or spend time with your family. Okay, so pretty much all three are suffering, which you don't want it. So that is what it is. And sometimes you are single, and if you are single, then again there's a frustration that's growing. Like, I do not have a woman, I do not have a man, I need someone, like, emotionally. I need someone to, all of that, kind of all of that. And if that is not there, and if you're not, like, if you're not getting anybody, if you're not having someone in your life, then obviously you tend to look for things like porn. Like, porn is probably the number one in that category. For people who are single, they want to take off their daily frustrations. It just goes into that, and that's a downward spiral, my friend. Okay. And if your 30s, if you're just looking at your self-destructive habits, your habits are getting really matured. And that is something that has been ingrained in your personality, where you're not able to just break through it. How many times have you tried breaking your habit or making a new habit? How many times have you tried? It feels like it's impossible, right? Because your brain is wired in such so strong that it's like you literally feel that it's impossible to get out of that, right? Also, you are seeing your parents getting older. You got to take care of them, and very less self time, or no time for self improvement. Yeah, so what is the consequence of this? Obviously, lack of confidence. Okay, so this is like, this is not the case for everybody. If you just take a look at, like, majority of the population, that's what we just spoke. But is it the case for everybody in the world? The answer is no. Somebody has figured it out. Yes, somebody has figured this out. So how do you think there are few people who are achieving things, doing what they want? How do you think that there are those people who are living their dream? How do you think they're doing it, right? So those minority of the people, they have excellent career, whatever, with whatever they are doing, they make more money, they have great relationship, all right, they have top respect in the society and the workplace. Okay, and they are in great health, and they are in awesome shape. Okay, so they know something, so that's nothing but the concentration of information. They know something that you don't, and it's as simple as that. And it's not just about the information but also execution. They are doing something that you're not doing. Okay, so all of this boils down to one thing, just one thing. This is the only thing that you will need to take care of. Once you start making a conscious effort, right? Daily conscious effort is what I call it as, DCE. You can change your personality. And why am I stressing so much right now? Is because if you're in your 20s, you can take it a little easy. It's okay. But you still have to start buckling up right now. If you're in your 30s, every days are, the clock is ticking. Every day the clock is ticking. You if you think it's hard for you to change your habits, and this is on the next level. This is going to cement the entire idea. And when people, like, if you say, if you want people to say, you know what, that guy, he's completely changed, like his like that guy is like fully 100%, he's made the transformation. If you want people to say like that, this is your secret key, your personality. It's your characteristic trait, the approaches that you make, the approaches that you take towards things makes your life. Okay, so this is your secret key, your personality. So I just want to say, like, in a room, okay, in a room, if you're not the alpha, then you are the beta. Okay, if you are not the leader, then obviously you are the follower. Okay, so enough is enough. For so many years, whatever the way that you have lived, now it's time, like, to stop clinging on to that. It is time to stop worrying, and it is time to stop about thinking about, whatever the things that is gone. Forget it, like, over. From today onwards, okay, I want you to have a grip on your life. I want you to take a full control of your life's direction. Okay, this thing that you see on the screen, this doesn't wake up in the morning and just say, I want some food, but I don't know, it's a little hot, and I don't feel like running. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just, let me see, I'll do it tomorrow. If a lion is hungry, he eats. So by that, we've come to the end of this welcome video, and let's dive right in to give you, and I'm super ready to give you some massive, massive, massive value. Okay, so finish off all of these chapters and start implementing the things that I'm teaching you. That is going to give you like a shift in your life. All right, so that's pretty much it, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.